Hello again. I'm going to present to you today a most fascinating problem where white is to checkmate in 5 moves. Now, this problem was composed by Michael McDowell on a theme of Lionel Kieseritzky, and it was originally published in the Problemist supplement in 2005, and Michael selected this for his column in the British Chess Problem Society in December 2019. Now, I played around with this for about an hour, and it suddenly occurred to me that you have to play what are incomprehensible moves, especially the key move, if you are going to have any hope of solving this. Now, these bishops look a bit menacing because when black moves his king, white is in all sorts of trouble. So, also bearing in mind these pawns, that if this should promote to a queen, it would give check and cause white even further consternation. So how does white approach a problem like this? What is he trying to do? Well, let me give you a clue. I put a couple of problems on YouTube, both shorts, and one of them has 2 parts, and they are concerned with what I've described as a king walk. Now, in my 2 problems, they're both mates in 4, and white's last 3 moves are with the king, so that the king eventually moves out the way to deliver checkmate in one of the problems with a bishop, and the other problem with a rook. Now, clearly this is a problem that predates any of mine. I did not know of this problem until I came across it quite recently, and I'm highly delighted to come across it because it's an excellent example, like Michael says in his column, of the sort of problems that both Kieseritzky and Adolf Anderson dabbled with in the early 1850s. So like I say, it is a mate in 5, and you would think, wouldn't you, that white would need to move his king out the way, something like this, so that he can give check, and then black has to move somewhere. The problem with any of these king moves like this is that it lends itself to black being able to check with the knight, and should you take this pawn, then of course you're leaving yourself wide open at some point to being checked with a promoted pawn there to a queen. So I'll give you one final clue. It is a king move, as I've been indicating. There is a considerable king walk in, I've saved the best for last variation. So just take a look at that and we'll go through it together, and it's quite amazing, and I'm sure that you will be amazed by it. Can you see the key move? It's with the king, so that when the king moves, white gives check. So in other words, it's either to here or to here, not to here of course because it's still blocking the queen, or to here. So you've a choice of 3. Which one would you go for? Now most people would object to taking this pawn of course because it's blocking this bishop, which is going to be needed. So it doesn't look as though that would have much benefit to you, and initially I rejected it, and what a good thing it is that I came back to it, because that is the key move. King takes f5. Check. Now then, black has essentially 1, 2, 3 replies to that. He can interpose this pawn, and when he does, this is nothing like a mate in 5, because it's check. He then only has really a choice, I suppose you could say, of going here or here. It doesn't really make any difference because white goes there. And as can be seen, if he had played here, it would equally be a mate in 3 moves. So that is no good. So we won't interpose the pawn again. This is where white has played king takes f5. We tried that. We've taken it to king back and mate on e4. So that is no good. So black has two king moves. You can either go here or he can go to d3. Let's try this one first. How does white proceed against that? Well, I think this is pretty straightforward. I had no problem with this, unlike the third and final variation, which we'll arrive at in a few moments. Rook takes f4 check. So black has two lines against this. He can play king to here. What happens now? Well, what we do is we play knight c5. Now, if he plays king to here, then it's rook e4 mate, because the knight covers the square. So he goes here. And then we have a nice finish with that. And that's checkmate, the rook nicely covering the back rank. On the other hand, let's just take this back. We've played king takes f5. He's played king to d4. We played rook takes f4, played king to d3. What about king to e3 instead? What do we play then? Well, this extends it. We have to play here. In so doing, we're forcing him back to here, then to here, and then to here. And that does checkmate in the full whack 5 moves, as I'm sure you'll agree. So those are two variations out the way. Let's look at the third and final one, which is, in my opinion, the most satisfying, not wishing to detract in any way at all from those ones. But I think the third one is of most interest, to me anyway, for reasons already mentioned about the king walk. And see if you can find it as we go along. Okay, we're back at the original position, where white has played king to f5. We've tried interposing, and it's a mate in 3. We've tried king to d4, and followed up with king to d3 and king to e3, and it's a mate in 4 and 5 respectively. So what about king to d3 on black's first move? What do we do here then? Can you see it? Well, like I said at the beginning of this video, putting the king here is in the way of the bishop, but it's not really, because this is the second move of the king, right? And it's unmasked the bishop. Check. So what does black do faced with this? He can't go to here because the bishop covers the other side. He can't go to here because of the queen. He can't go to here or here because of the king. So he can't interpose anything, so he has to play king d4. So what on earth does white do now? Can you see? Yep, that's right. I began to see it. At this stage I thought to myself, yes, it's going to be every single move with the king. What do you think about that? Isn't that something? So king takes g3. What does black do here? Well, he realizes, of course, that he has two moves. If he goes to e3, it's rook takes f3, and that's checkmate. So that is no good. You notice, just in passing, these two bishops and these two pawns, they're useless. They're not doing anything, are they? What white has done is he's totally stymied these two bishops and two pawns, and black is powerless to do anything with them and powerless to do anything against this king maneuver. So the only other move as opposed to king e3 is king e5. Now, what does white do? Can you see it? Well, congratulations to you. Here we go, because what this is doing, it's unmasking this bishop. Now just take a look at that. Where can black move now? He has one move, a forced move. It's here. And when I reached this position, I thought, no, it's cooked. I really want to move this king out of the way to discover check. And I looked at it, and I looked at it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I thought, my God, it's there, isn't it? Do you see it? That's right, you get rid of this pawn. You take that, and you unmask the check, and that is checkmate. And if that isn't a fantastic end to this magnificent problem from Michael McDowell, then I don't know what is, and hats off to him for that, and I salute you, Michael. Wonderful problem. And I trust that you, all of you out there, enjoyed that one, and I'll endeavour to bring you problems in the future of this quality. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye for now.